The brand split, eh? Some people love it and some people hate it, but either way, we're stuck with it, so you've just got to stick that in your pipe hole and make do with it as best you can. And it's not like it's super bad. I mean, ever since it's happened and SmackDown went live, that show's probably been better than it has been in years, so we can't complain too much. Of course, when it comes to Raw, the real issue there is that it's 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours. However, I think it's pretty clear that the long-term future for WWE does not include a brand split. And recent rumblings and decisions have kind of backed that up, because changes are afoot. So, the brand split could be running out of steam. Why? Here's why. Now, before we do begin, it is National Hood Week, so make sure you do wear your hood up if you are heading outside. It's very important cause. But that aside, we did find out recently that WWE has decided to end the single brand pay-per-view era and reintroduce dual brand pay-per-views, which means from Backlash, which is happening in May 2018, we're going to have Raw Superstars on that show and SmackDown Superstars too. It's apparently mostly being done to improve live ticket sales, because tickets weren't selling for shows, and that is very, very sensible. If you're not getting enough people in the building, put more stars on your show, and you're probably going to sell more tickets. It also does underline that certain pay-per-views just don't have enough star power to draw, so the only way you can counteract that is by putting more superstars on there, and that makes sense. I mean, if on one card you've got Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and AJ Styles, that is going to be ultimately better than if you get rid of two of those names. It also makes certain pay-per-views far more entertaining, such as Money in the Bank. I have never understood why Money in the Bank has to go to either the Raw crew or the SmackDown crew. Why would we do that? It should be like the Royal Rumble. It should be like a mid-year Royal Rumble. Get as many people in there as possible. Make it feel like a big deal because both Raw and SmackDown people want it. And then let the writers figure out in what direction they want to go and what the story is going to be. I much prefer that because it adds so much more gravitas to the match. And if you were on Raw, you'd be like, why don't we get a Money in the Bank match? That sucks. The worry is that there's also a rumour that WWE is thinking about extending these to 4 hours. That's a terrible idea, and I get it. You want to try and get as many people onto these cards as possible, but don't do that. Just don't do it. Please, for the love of everything, don't do it. Just, again, writing team, you figure out who you want to push here, then figure out how you want to push there, and just make sure that when you get to the end of a 12-month period, it's all balanced out. No one, especially me, wants to watch a monthly 4-hour pay-per-view, even if that does mean that some guys can't get on to these shows. Again, it's a great lesson for life. It's a great lesson for life. Sometimes you're just going to get rude-worded in the ass. It's a good move, however, and will make all this feel fresh again, and it would probably work for Raw and SmackDown too. Now, it's less of a problem with the latter, because sometimes those 2 hours in SmackDown just fly by, but then again, think how quickly they would go if you added more people onto the card and had more storylines. It would probably whiz through, you'd probably be desperate to watch more, and I bet viewership would go up. And I thought that was the whole point. If we did this as well, we could finally try and make the world title mean something. Because let's face it, it don't mean much in 2018. Mostly because we've got two of them. And I know one's called the WWE title and one's called the Universal title. But the whole point is they're both meant to represent the world champion. And we've got two. It really has become a prop at this stage. If you compare it to something like New Japan's IWGP Heavyweight Championship, you start to see where the problems are. That thing feels like it's got all the weight on the world on its shoulders. And imagine you didn't watch WWE 2 and you tuned into your first ever Raw and SmackDown. You'd be baffled. Why are there two world champions? What is going on? And obviously you understand, brand split, different rosters, whatever, but it's still dumb. The best plan was when WWE had the world champion on both shows. That made sense. Do that again, please. Scrap the brand split though, and we can forget about all that entirely. Heat one of these back up, make it the most important title in the company, and I bet then more people want to watch. And that does make sense to me, and again, kind of weighs out against the whole, we won't be able to get the young stars on TV. Do I have to worry about that as a fan? Should that really be my responsibility, or should I just watch that happening and then go and bitch and moan about it online? Exactly. It just seems to make sense to do it with pay-per-views, and if those pay-per-views then start to improve, why wouldn't you try and do that on television as well? That would be pretty good evidence to suggest you're going to get a similar upturn then. And once more, that is the whole thing. All we really want as fans, or even if you're a casual viewer, is entertaining television. So whatever WWE has to do that to ensure we get it, that's what we should do. That's what we should do. Don't overthink it. Don't second guess it. Just make sure the fan, because without us, I mean, what are you doing? You're putting on wrestling to no one, is entertained. And let me tell you this, it would sure as hell make watching at least 5 hours of wrestling every week a lot better. Right now in my life where I am, where I stand, that to me sounds very, very important indeed. Clearly something has piqued WWE's interest though, and I'm not adverse to them following that through as far as they need to follow it through. I know we've done this before, but we keep hearing all this stuff about SmackDown's not drawing big crowds, and now apparently live ticket sales are down. So change it up. Change it up. If something's not working, you look at the scenario, and as business people, you start putting all the puzzles back together. So just do that. I know it's not as simple. I know it requires time, effort, and money, but this is a very good first step for WWE. And finally, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen at Backlash, and when it is done, we can take a step back, we can evaluate and go, oh yeah, I think that was a good idea, or oh no, that was really bad. Either way though, I'm not against it at all, and I appreciate WWE taking this kind of a risk, I guess, and taking this chance. I'm going to see, I'm going to have an open mind, and as always, keep both my fingers crossed that one day, we have only one WWE champion, and that WWE champion is Repo Man. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about the WWE brand split at the moment. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read some articles, and follow What Culture on Twitter, What Culture WWE. My name is Simon from What Culture. Happy Hood Week. I'll see you soon.
Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.